So what should be done to keep things on course? I see three key dimensions. The first one is stability. We must ensure financial calm. And here I welcome the decision taken by the Europeans to strengthen their firewall, which should help stop contagion. And this should support a stronger global firewall achieved in part by increasing the resources of the IMF. I'll come to that in a second. More generally, we also need a stronger and safer financial sector that puts societal interests ahead of the interests of its own sector. This means better and more coordinated regulations. We've already seen some results here. Let's look at what the Basel Committee has done. Basel III is clearly a step in the right direction. Coordinated, better regulation that looked at the risks that were taken, and that led us to the abyss. Now, more needs to be done, because it's going to be a question of coordinated implementation, and it is going to be a question of better regulation as well in areas that are still in the dark. And I'm thinking here of derivatives, clearing, and obviously the shadow banking, but also, very important, the issue of regulating the resolution of banks that have cross-border operations in order to put in place circuit breakers. That was the first objective, stability, particularly in the financial sector. The second clear dimension is growth. In the short run, what matters most for growth is going to be demand. All right, here comes the Keynesian approach. Well, demand is fine, but we cannot possibly let supply by the sideline, because supply, by way of structural reforms, is what is going to take us further in a more sustainable, steady, and solid way towards growth. Boosting growth means using monetary policy to support activity, especially with no real signs of inflation in any of the advanced economies at the moment. It also means using fiscal policy to support activity wherever possible. Yes, most countries need to bring their debt down, particularly in the advanced economies. And yes, some of those countries need to take the hard measures now to reduce their deficit now. But those countries that have a bit of space, that can borrow at very, very low interest rates, can also slow the course, take a bit of time. And I would say that this is probably the case for the United States of America. It shouldn't move too quickly, but it should certainly move steadily in the right direction of cutting deficit and redressing debt, changing the trajectory of it. Because we can't be complacent again. The US debt exceeds 100% of its GDP. The country needs a stronger push to fix its public finance in the years ahead, including by curbing the growth of entitlement spending and raising more revenue. Equally, in the United States, the recovery is being held back by the burden of household debt. Some of the statistics here, and you know them, are just mind-boggling. Over 1.5 million mortgages are seriously delinquent. And obviously measures have to be taken to restore the capacity of those households by taking advantage of easier refinancing and mortgage write-downs. Now, the US administration has made some good proposals in that regard. It's going to be a matter of implementing aggressively and rallying the support of large institutions like Freddie and Fannie along the lines. Because remember, banks were helped to give credit again, while households must be helped to be able to consume again. Third, it's about jobs. Now, there is no magic bullet, there is no magic stick here. It's going to have to be reinvented from the ground in each and every economy where it's needed. But it is badly needed because at the moment, as you know, there are over 200 million people who are in search of a job.